really know about massage therapists? They like to rub strangers for money while they listen to the Avatar soundtrack. That's a red flag. Those are the traits of a serial killer. I never know what to say during a massage. Sometimes I'll try and break the ice. I'll be like, hey, you're not allergic to leprosy, are you? They never laugh because they're busy imagining making a suit out of my skin. Because they're murderers. They already put the lotion in the basket. I don't even know what type of massage I'm getting when I get a massage. They're like, do you want a deep tissue, a shiatsu, or a Swedish massage? I'm like, I'll take the blonde. I don't know. Because men view massages differently. A woman gets a massage, her friends are like, good for you. A guy gets a massage, you dirty dog! Because men sexualize all human interaction. It was a therapeutic massage. How therapeutic? Nothing happened. Yeah, that's what we'll tell your wife, huh? That's gotta be frustrating for massage therapists, that double meaning. Did you get a massage or a massage? No other occupation has to deal with that. Did you get a cavity filled or a cavity filled? How many dentistry references is he gonna have? For me, a massage is just an hour of awkwardness, right? She gets done, she leaves the room, I put on the robe, I step outside, she hands me a glass of water. I was looking at her and go, you're never gonna call me. What a charade. I did have one massage therapist, she told me they're allowed to turn people down. I don't know why she told me that. It was after a show. Can you imagine getting turned down by a massage therapist? That's rough. Yeah, you couldn't pay me to touch you. Not for all the money on the planet. Massages, that's how some people relax. Some people relax in a hot sauna, and sure, who doesn't love recreating the feeling of being trapped inside an active volcano? I don't understand the appeal of a sauna. Here's every experience I've had in a sauna. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get a sweat going, it's gonna be really good for me. Here we go, it's time to get out, right? I don't wanna overdo it. What is so relaxing about sitting in a hot box next to a pile of smoldering rocks? I always look at the rocks like, whoever's cooking the rocks, they're done. That's a wrap on the rock cooking. And to make this sauna more enjoyable, you're always seated next to a naked 80-year-old man. Oh, good, I get to sweat next to someone's grandpa who's only wearing a hand towel. The nudity in the sauna seems unnecessary. This isn't Rome. I just look around the sauna like, wow, so this is why we wear clothes, huh? So we may eventually eat. Those Europeans, they have a different approach to dairy. When they make a sandwich in Europe, they put butter on the bread. They put butter on the bread and then mayonnaise. Ugh. That's like putting on contacts and glasses. Butter on the bread of a sandwich, that actually sounds like something Americans would do that Europeans would criticize us for. Those American pigs, when they make a sandwich, they put butter on the bread. No wonder they fat pig. That's a good impression of absolutely every European. I did love doing shows over there. You never knew what was gonna work. Sometimes there's a language barrier, there's different references, there's famous people in other countries we've never heard of. I was doing this show in Ireland before, doing the sound check before the show, and the sound guy was like, do you have any special requests? And I jokingly said, well, I'll probably close my show by singing Raglan Road, which is a famous Irish folk song based on a famous Irish poem. And the sound guy was like, oh, I don't recommend that. And I was like, wow, I was kidding, but why? And he goes, well, recently Billy Joel did that. And I was like, who's Billy Joel? And he goes, you don't know who Billy Joel is. I was like, I'm from another country. I don't know who's famous here. What is it, Superman's dad? I don't know. He goes, Billy Joel is from America. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's an American who's famous in Ireland that I've never heard of. There's no Billy Joel, piano man, uptown girl. I was like, oh, you mean Billy Joel? And he goes, no, it's Billy Joel. And for a second I thought, maybe he's right. This wouldn't be the first time I've discovered I mispronounced someone's name for my entire life. In my mind, I started going through every conversation I had on Billy Joel. I'm like, did anyone else say Billy Joel? When I said Billy Joel, did anyone look at me strange? And then I remembered, you know who pronounces it Billy Joel? Billy Joel. And at that point, the opening act had come in, and he was also from Ireland. And I said, hey, this sound guy calls Billy Joel Billy Joel. And the Irish comic goes, it is Billy Joel. Is everyone crazy in this country? Recently, I was invited to a surprise birthday party. It was a surprise birthday party for a dog. That's right, I have friends that are mentally ill. I went. It was in my apartment building, and I needed the material. And to be fair, the dog was surprised. Didn't suspect a thing. Dog didn't know it was his birthday. The dog didn't know it had a birthday. The dog wasn't sure why people were in the apartment. It was the dog's third birthday, which in dog years doesn't matter. Someone made that up, and we just went along with it. Oh, 1 year equals 7 for doggies? Okay. When I see a dog, I'll do math. That's not fulfilling some dog need. You know, there's not a dog sitting in a bar right now going, I'm not 3, I'm 21. I can legally drink. That's not how dogs keep track of time. If you have a dog, you know they don't keep track of time. You've left your home, forgotten something, walked back in, only to be greeted by your dog like you've just returned from war. They're back! It's a miracle! They're back after I don't know how long, because I'm a dog! These poor dogs. We just attach these points of view on these poor dogs. Like dog is man's best friend. How desperate are humans? We're best friends, right? Dog's like, well, aren't we different species? But we're best friends forever. You know, you locked me in the house all day with nothing but a bowl of water. You'd think you let your best friend sit on the couch. We're best friends. Now put on this fireman's outfit. We're gonna do a photo shoot for Instagram. You know, sometimes when you sleep, I think about eating your face. But I get it. I love dogs too. I love animals. We all have the friend that announces they love animals in a way that implies the rest of us are drowning kittens. Yeah, but I love animals. Well, that's a pretty exclusive group of just you and anyone who's not a serial killer. Yeah, but I just get along with animals better. Or humans don't like you. I did have an opportunity to go on a safari, which was unbelievable. It was breathtaking how bad the Wi-Fi was. I get intimidated by the wall of athletic shoes. You know, they have like a shoe for every activity. I just get caught up in the styles. I'm like, I like the blue ones. They're for pole vaulting. How about the gray ones? Cross trainers. Is there a slipper section? I just need to get between places where I'm sitting down. Slippers are kind of my pace, I guess. Even the person who named slippers was lazy. All right, what do you want to call these things we slip on? Slippers. I did see this speed walking shoe. I don't know if anyone's a speed walker here, but if you are, you look ridiculous.
You ever see the speed walkers? They're like, They always look like a little kid that's been told not to run around the pool. No running. I'm not running. Or someone in a desperate yet polite hurry to get to the bathroom. Just had Indian food, excuse me.
A diarrhea joke already? Come on, fella.
Of course, the weirdest shoes are those baby versions of the adult shoes. My brother-in-law bought our 5-month-old these tiny Timberland hiking boots, and our baby can't walk, let alone hike. My brother-in-law was like, they're cute. They're only cute because they're ironic. It's like giving a blind person a microscope. Look at him fumble with that. Isn't that adorable? I gotta get a picture. He's holding it upside down.
Shoe jokes, really? Is that what he's doing? For his special, he's doing shoe jokes. What's next, socks?
You ever lose a sock? How long are you supposed to hold on to that other one? Because I got like 80 of them. But I know once I get rid of it, the other one's gonna show up. Hey, where's my brother? He's in a better place. He's in sock heaven. I think it's strange when the elastic goes on socks. It's like the sock saying, I retired, I'm done. No longer a sock, now I'm just kind of a sack. You could store marbles in me, but that sock business is over. That happens to underwear, too. The elastic goes like the underwear saying, I quit, I'm tired of covering your ass. This job stinks. Not gonna take your crap anymore. And other puns.